Oh, there we go. Aerosmith, 98.7 WFGR, 8:30. Andy O, Dave Cagley. A little rainy out there, but that's not slowing anybody down too much. You got a quick traffic for us, Dave?
Yeah, cleaning up a couple of accidents. Maple at Monroe and Rockford. Also 131 northbound at 28th Street. A rollover accident there should just about be out of your way. Could still see a bit of Gawker's delay on the southbound side. East and westbound I-96 112th Avenue in Nunica. Still down to one lane in both directions there. That's traffic on 98.7 WFGR.
Everybody in Grand Rapids is all fired up because it's restaurant week, and
Delicious.
They figured out the way to fire us up about it. They gave us gift certificates to go eat for free,
Uh-huh.
which, in this business, we'll take all we can get.
Doesn't matter.
Doug Small is the president of Experience Grand Rapids. How are you, Doug?
Good morning, guys.
Tell us a little bit about Experience Grand Rapids.
Well,
if nobody's ever heard of this, give them the
my
elevator
mom's
speech.
still trying to figure out what I do for a living.
All right.
So, simplest way to put it is we fill hotel rooms. Our mission is to promote and market the destination.
Yep.
We're really the only ones that do that out there, and hope that we drive visitors and fill hotel rooms. And if we fill hotel rooms, they're going to spill out into the streets and spend money on attractions and restaurants and all those other great things.
So do you work on booking like big convention type things, or do you work on like a Travelocity one-on-one type
We do.
thing?
We get all the sexy conventions like the Quilters convention coming in this
Sweet.
week.
We were fans of the huge herpes convention.
convention.
That's
Big
why-
fans of
see,
that.
Now you understand why my mom's upset. I told her I got herpes, but that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, Mom. So we go from herpes to quilters, but 21,000 quilters. So yeah, we go out and reach out and we bid, do presentations all over the country, and bring those groups here.
It's been a very active, forward-thinking push on part of everybody in Grand Rapids to get this kind of business coming into town. And for a guy that worked here, back in 89, 90, 91, back in that era, the way the city has become, to me, is just flabbergasting.
Yeah.
I can't get over how much this downtown has changed.
As soon as 5 years ago, this city was running 48% occupancy, and that's not a good number.
No.
Right.
And we ran 62% this last year, and we're about, room revenue-wise, we're 11% higher than what we were a year ago, which was a record. So we're on a roll.
Things are in
We're
the
not
right
done
direction.
yet, but we're on a roll. So
Now, does that take into account the flooding that we had downtown that really kind of eliminated a lot of the occupancy for the
it did, Dave. But what
Marriott.
the good news there is that there was a large convention in town, but the outlying hotels had space.
Right.
So
That's
we
right.
put them on buses and we moved them out to the outlying hotels. So we saved the occupancy.
Right.
Yeah.
That one hotel didn't do so well,
Right.
but
Well.
but the community as a whole did okay.
Okay, cool.
Let's talk a little bit about Restaurant Week, which I'm new to it. I haven't been down here to participate in any of Restaurant Week. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect.
Yeah, it's 73 restaurants, and really the focus is to try to get our locals out and enjoy the local restaurant scene that we have here.
Sure.
Nobody was celebrating it 4 or 5 years ago, and we said we got to start celebrating it because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so for $25, the higher end restaurants will give you 3 courses or more for $25, and then if you go to a place like Hopcat, which is also participating as an example, you get 2 meals for $25 there. And again, it's 3 courses, and there's a variety of choices with each course. And we've asked them all to use as much local product as possible. Use our local farms, our freshwater fish. And if you look at the menus, I think they've done that.
Now, I'm sure, seeing as you're the organizer of this, you like to remain neutral as far as all these restaurants and
Right.
everything go. But if you had one you might think was a little bit better than the other, where would you steer them?
I don't know if I'd tell you exactly.
Well,
See, I get asked this all the
there
time.
you go, politics right
but
there.
if you look at the menus and those that truly, I am a huge fan of using local farms.
Yeah.
So when you look at the Greenwells of the world and Groves of the world and Terra GR and those, I'm a fan of those type of restaurants. But I also love creativity. So I'm no different than a lot of diners. I get on there and there's things that I've never had that I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Restaurant Week, is that you can try a variety of restaurants at a price point that's not going to break the bank.
How does this? What does this do for the economy downtown over the course of 7 to 10 days?
Yeah, it's actually August 14th to 24th.
Okay.
And, restaurants will tell you when they first went into this 4 years ago, it wasn't for the economic benefits because, again, the price point's low.
Right.
It's to drive new
business.
or new business.
Yeah.
But they're starting to see volumes. You'll get some restaurants on weekends that'll sell out
Really?
with Restaurant Week. So we advise to make sure you make reservations early. But we ask them to look at their receipts on a year-round basis, and their business has been growing and growing, and they give a lot of that credit to Restaurant Week. So we're going to continue it for them.
That's and you guys have a benefit that goes on with this as well. Talk a little bit about how somebody. I mean, the food's great, the beer's great, everything else, but this has got a higher purpose as well.
It does, and thanks for mentioning that. $1 for every meal that is served during Restaurant Week at the participating restaurants will go to a scholarship fund at the Secchi Institute for Culinary Education at Grand Rapids Community College. It's a mouthful, by the way.
That is.
That was impressive.
And we're proud to say that in the first 3 years, we've raised about $60,000 of scholarship money for these kids. And our goal is simple. One, it's a great school, and it puts out a lot of great professionals.
Yeah.
And we're selfish. We want these kids, if we can help foster growth there and they stay in our community and open up restaurants or work in our restaurants to make our restaurants better, we become a better destination for it. So that's why we do it.
I couldn't agree more. What an explosion downtown is seeing now. All right, you brought up one of the restaurants is the Grove. One of the farm to fork restaurants
One of those
you
you
talked about.
forced out of me.
That's where I'm going on Wednesday.
All right.
Make me some recommendations. What do I want to look for in there?
Well, I tell you what, the chef there, Chef Patrick, is very, very creative. He takes time off during the year and travels around the world and brings back ideas on what to create here.
Yeah. I do that too for the radio show.
Yeah, well, you're a professional. I don't. He's always had. You like fish? He's always had some really. I could tell by the look on your face that was the wrong choice.
I'm not a fish guy. I'll be honest with you. Now, Dave here likes fish sticks.
I'm a Van de Kamp. I'm a Van de Kamp sort of fella. That's just the higher end, the upper echelon of your finer fish sticks.
Yeah.
But this particular. No, I like the salmon. Like I'll eat salmon.
You like that?
Yeah, salmon.
I've never been a fan. I think it goes back to when I was a kid. Lent would come around. And every Friday, my mom would make these disgusting salmon patties. And they were like big pieces of meatloaf that smelled like fish.
I was there.
You did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it's like.
He didn't shut up.
That's how it went. Not at Restaurant Week.
At Grove, that's the beauty of Grove as an example. He'll take whatever's available to him that week and create something. And it could be a pork belly dish. It could be a bone marrow. It could be brisket. It's not going to be your normal.
I'm excited.
Normal stuff.
And you're headed to?
I'm headed to One Trick Pony. I've eaten there before.
Yeah.
And so I know how good it is, and I know how good the service is. And I go, a lot of restaurants, you mentioned Hopcat. A lot of people think Hopcat, they think of beer.
Right.
So you've got hundreds of different beers on tap. They have really, really good food.
I would agree with that. There's a lot of sneaky, look, again, if you look at some of these restaurants on here, some of the smaller ones have great menus.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just exploded. I'm so proud of everything this city's become, and it all happened when I wasn't here.
Right.
So I can't really take any of the credit for it. But
once we got Andy out of town, then everything started thriving. Now it's going to go to hell again.
I wouldn't go that far. It kicks off on Wednesday. That's correct.
That's correct. Yep.
And everybody go out and sample some of the restaurants. Give us a website that they can look up for more information.
You bet. RestaurantWeekGR.com.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Easy enough, and we'll put the link up online at WFGR. What's coming up next for Experience GR after Restaurant Week?
Geez, well,
let's look down the line here. What's next?
Good old Art Prize. We do a lot of marketing for Art Prize to try to draw visitors here, and I think we've seen that's working.
Oh God,
it's our Rose Bowl.
It is.
We're not going to get the Rose Bowl here, and so we look at it as our Rose Bowl, and we treat it as such. And then just a lot of conventions, and then we go into. Last year was the first year we did Cool Brews and Hot Eats. It's another food and beer promotion to help our local brewers out, which we've worked real hard with. And, food and beer, I joke about my mom. I said, I found a way to get beer and food into my job, and I love it, man. So we ride it.
Well, good for you. Doug, we wish you the best. We appreciate you coming in today. Down the line, if you got more you want to talk about, the door's open, man.
I'll do it.
You know where it's at. Doug Small, ExperienceGR.com. And get out and enjoy Restaurant Week. We'll have some write-ups about our experiences. Mine at the Grove and Dave's over at
One Trick Pony.
One Trick Pony. We'll do that a little bit later on this week. But get out and support these local restaurants. Keep the economy moving. Doug, thanks again for stopping in.
Thank you, guys.